Hi everyone and welcome to a new tutorial. In today's video I'm going to guide you through advanced logging in a Laravel application and some logging in a Docker environment. So let's get started. First of all, we want to go to logs folder into Laravel and create some folders. So I'm gonna delete everything I have in here and I'm gonna create new directories. The first one will be cron and the second one will be services. It's up to you how you call this, but this is like my choice. I'm gonna copy git ignore from logs into this, and it will be ignoring everything but not git ignore. Same from services, ignoring everything, not git ignore. And for the initial git ignore, I'm not going to ignore cron and not going to ignore services. So those two ignores can't work and be committed. This will be like the initial change. Now I will go to Docker and rewrite a little bit um, some of the files inside there from the conf. The first one will be the cron tab. So the cron tab, I want to go into storage, logs, and then service, and to put everything in there. So yeah, services, I name it. So that will mean everything will go in there. Since we have like literally success and errors, we can remove from supervisor any log related to the cron. So we have, I'm not really sure, I left some spaces in here. So we have auto start, auto restart through, and then removing the log, and that's it with the cron. And then for example with the horizon, we have redirects to the error. Maybe I don't want to like redirect to the error, so I'm removing that because I want the actual errors to go to the ctd error file. So we have a ctd error log file. I'm gonna put another value in here, which is ctd error log file max bits, and I'm gonna say change 5 megabytes. And another one will be, yeah, my bad in here, set to the error. Okay, and another one will be std error like log file backups. So that means after how many files of 5 megabytes will start deleting the old backups. So I have like 5 in here, and I will do the same with the std out. So will be std out log file std, I want 10 megabytes and 5 backups in here, and that will be like all with the horizon. So we arrange of that, we go in, okay, and logs in here I want to go also in the services. Okay, so logs services. Now all good with that. The cron tab is also in services. Oh yeah, I realized this wasn't big enough. I hope now it's ctd errors, ctd. Okay, all good with that. We have this setup in place. We have to rebuild our containers. I'll do that in a second. So we did all that. Now on the kernel, um, I've created this cron, right? Why I've created? We have in the console kernel some commands that run in here. So we have inspired early, and for each of these, I'm gonna do append output 2, and I'm gonna do storage path logs and then cron, and then for each command that I put, I add a separate file. So will be like let's say inspire.log, and the same will be for the others. So append output to Horizon snapshot and append output to cache run stale tags. I do that so if I have to monitor a command, what happened with it, I can go to its specific file and monitor that specific command. So because of that, I do that. Now we have like storage logs, everything. Now we are ready to rebuild our container. And maybe let's put this, but I think it's all right like that. So I've created a new branch, and like I said, I want to rebuild containers. In order to do so, I'll do up-d force recreate command and build. Okay, the containers are um, recreated. Okay, all good. Let's, okay, all good. Now, yeah, the services are inside here. Horizon started successfully. Horizon and cron, it's still in here, but why? Uh, the next step is to actually go to the config logging file and do some extra things. Um, I really like the stack channel, so we are going to use that. Either in here we change to daily before. Now I'm going to change to stack and show you how to do advanced logging in here. So we want to start from debug and we want to use stack channel. Now, before we start, let me define um, two new channels in here. So I'll do a daily, the quoted. So a daily errors channel and a daily debug channel. We want to keep them separated, so to have each level of logs separated. So error, um, I want to like use the driver daily because I told you I want like to be structured in daily files. We want the driver daily. Then uh, my experience, from my experience, I like to format this. Usually I use custom formatters, but for this tutorial I keep it simple and add an existing formatter. And the best existing formatter that I found is the JSON formatter from Monolog. So that will be this. We want this. Then we want a path to define a path, and path will be storage. Um, yeah, my bad. Storage path of logs, and then error log, and then what level should be in here. If you are not knowing this on Laravel documentation, Laravel logging. Okay, there are um, a lot of like levels. Let me get there to the levels. Okay, so debug info notice and warning. These are the one we want to be separated, because this means the application will still work with this. It's just information, and for any of these we want to have them separated, because that means something is wrong with our application and we need to figure out and fix. And the order, the level you add in there will be anything above that. So if we added error as level in here, that means in that file will be anything above this. Okay, so we added the level. Then if we are using the daily driver, we can specify how many days we should like the logs be kept. I say 14. And then another thing that Laravel provides is bubble, and that means when um, an error is encountered, by default this value is true. When an error is encountered, it's sent to other loggers as well. If we set this to false, that means when an error is encountered, it will log here and not send to other channels. And we want the same for the debug, with the specification that in here it's debug and the level it's debug. Okay. But as I explained you previously, debug will log anything above debug level, which basically it's like everything. Uh, so we have this bubble. That means if we want like to have errors on this side and debug on this side, but from error above don't, we were going to use the stack channel and define the channels in here. And the order is important, because if we put daily debug first, debug, and then daily errors, or error, how I defined it, error. Okay, so if we put in this order, um, debug will log it first, and then error, so it will be in both sides the errors and everything about errors, even with the bubble thing. But if I put it in this order, then when an error will encounter, will be logged only on error, and then the bubble will stop um, sending to other channels. So the order is important. We add this as an error, and I think that that's like all. Now we have everything set up. Okay, horizon snapshot already got in cron in here. We have all this. Let's see, um let's test this and see it if it works as expected. I'm going to create a new route, a test route. So I'm gonna add in here. Let me add globally. Okay. So will be route get test route. This is only for testing purpose. You should have don't have this route in a live environment. And I'm gonna make a new controller. Yep. So let me comment this. I can't create control. Okay, we have controller. So I say root get test should go to test controller, and then method to be index, and that's it. going to the test controller, creating that index method, public function index. Why we have this? Oh, I put it last time, so yeah. Oh, why is it like this? My bad. Yeah, my bad. We should, uh, this shouldn't be in here. Last time it remains, it doesn't matter. Okay, so index, and in here I'm going to do um, show something random to see if it like works. And now going to tutorial slash test, and it works. Okay, now let's see the level of logging. Yeah, unexpected root. Um, you see the log formatter? It's showing like a very nice formatted log. This can be used in Blockly, Datadog, or whatever log service you might use. So let's see what I've told you. So I'm gonna use log and then say info. Let's do all the let's actually copy all of them from here. Let's see where it puts how it's put. So, and let's say, yeah, no, let me put separate. So it will be GNC alert critical error warning notice info and debug. Okay, and then echo works, and let's refresh our test. Let's see what's now. So we have like a new debug in here, and we have message and the level 1, 2, 2, 5, and 300 for warning, and the level name, channel, local. We are in a local environment, daytime of that log, and like this. And same from this emergency alert critical. Let's try actually an exception. So let's say in here we'll do like a manual exception. To a new exception, like something went wrong, not wrong. Okay, so we do that. If I refresh, the exception is shown here, but well, it's logged again, and it's with stack trace and everything, so it can be like followed in any logger you might use. So this is like the way I recommend to structure the logs in a Laravel application. Um, Obviously, um, if you like dig deeper, maybe you find better solutions. Looking forward for that, but this is how I'll structure them. And yeah, usually I keep this test controller on a git ignore, but yeah, we'll keep it like this for now. So I'm gonna like commit everything, um, so you have this thing as well. And that will be all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.